You beat the grass to startle the snakes. You beat the grass to startle the snakes. What does that mean? It means that whenever you know there's snakes around, you gotta go and you gotta make some noise. You startle them and they come out and you can see them and you take it from there. Now, why is it important to challenge local officials, to challenge local tyrants, to fight local tyrants? Why is it important? I'll tell you why it's important. One reason, because if we don't fight back against local tyrants, and if we don't fight back against local despots, well then who the hell is going to do it? And if we don't fight back, then you yourself are co-signing, you yourself are giving them the green light to oppress you. Now, I don't know about you, but let me tell you what I think when I see something like this.
Actually, I'd like to ask everybody here to Google the chief of police's name, Dagoberto Chavez Jr. And you'll be surprised what you're going to find. And you all have the audacity to, listen, he's not a commissioner. I can mention his name. You all have the audacity to complain about this versus this, or even calling him a rookie. You know what? Why don't you go ahead and Google his name?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Miguel Loya, and I reside at 429 Route and Adult Conversation. Fast forward to today. I know it's very impolite to interrupt the conversations that you're not a part of, especially if it's an intense conversation.
She's being arrested. This is ridiculous.
Why is she being arrested?
Because what her comment.
With your comments?
Because of her
Really?
You can speak.
Because they have power. They have power. They're the cops.
Now, which brings me to the...
Is the city of Mercedes is arresting anybody
matter
who
went out of
speaks
hand.
up against them.
A simple handshake.
Now, what you just witnessed was Mercedes citizen Dalia Reyes speaking at the city commission meeting, and moments later after she's done speaking, she gets arrested. And as you can see from the crowd reaction, people are wondering why she's getting arrested. She was walking out, and then she comes back in for her purse, and she gets booked. Now, you might ask yourself, how in the hell can that be happening? How in the hell can they be happening? Which leads me to my first question. What exactly constitutes a local tyrant? What is a local tyrant? A local tyrant is somebody in a position of power who understands the law, knows loopholes in the law, and knows the loopholes enough to be able to just finagle them enough to be able to either silence political opponents, oppress people who are exposing them. And what we have here is just that. The police chief that she was talking about, his name is Dagoberto Chavez, was watching and listening all the while because he was in the building. And moments later after she gives the speech, she was booked and she was arrested. Now, if this doesn't send chills down your spine, and after you realize that we aren't living in some despotic third world country, this isn't Venezuela, this isn't Cuba, this is the United States of America. We have a constitution. We have civil liberties, we have a Bill of Rights, we have the freedom of expression, we have the freedom of speech, we have the freedom to be able to go out and speak in public. Now, if you're going to sit there and you're going to look at that and you're going to tell me that she deserved to get arrested, then you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind if you could even attempt to defend this situation. You can't. Don't do it. And if you do, please message me. I can't wait to hear it. Now, why do I say that vague statutes are a corrupt official's best friend? Well, Mr. Dagoberto Chavez himself is about to explain.
The one thing that I can tell you is you all need, you might know some, all right, but you all need to be familiarized with laws. There is laws against all of that. And a lot of these people could have actually been arrested. Disorderly conduct is a very vague, and it gives the law enforcement a large scope as to what can happen to people who are disorderly.
Now, in case you missed it, that was the police chief of Mercedes, Dagoberto Chavez, admitting that he's working with a very vague law when it comes to disorderly conduct. And what he said, in case you missed it, was that he could have had he had the authority to arrest as many people as he wanted to arrest as many people as he felt were being disorderly, because there really is no specifics when it comes to disorderly conduct. And when somebody who doesn't have good intentions gets a hold of that, gets a hold of a vague statute like that, it's time to worry. Because the Supreme Court of the United States themselves have shown concern about local statutes that could be used by local despots and local tyrants to oppress the citizenry, to oppress political opposition, to oppress political opponents. And here, the entire situation in Mercedes, this is what that is. And there's a whole host of shady things going on behind the scenes here. One commissioner spoke out against it. They want to get rid of him. The citizens spoke out against it. One of them got arrested. A few of them got arrested. And so goes the situation in Mercedes, Texas. Which brings me to my original point. I want to commend everybody in Mercedes who stood up to this, and who's standing up to this, and who continues to fight, and who continues to stand up for their own people, because a lot of people aren't willing to do it. Not a lot of people give a damn. Not a lot of people care about what's going on in their own cities, what's going on in the city precincts. They'd rather stay home and look, guys, a lot of people just don't give a damn. A lot of people just don't care. I mean, what are the voting percentages in Mercedes? And I'm not knocking Mercedes. It's like that all across the valley. But I'm just letting you know that if this isn't the time to get involved, and if this isn't the time to fight back and challenge these local tyrants, then when is enough going to be enough? Just 2 months ago, there was another local tyrant here from Cameron County, Commissioner Gus Reese, who had a citizen arrested for harassment because he sent him a couple of profanity-laced emails, one saying to go F himself and another one saying to burn in hell. But let me tell you something interesting here, is that Gus Reese himself knows the law. He knows the loophole. He knows how vague, again, there's that word vague, how unspecific these statutes are. He knows which ones can be used to get his way, to silence opponents, to silence political oppositions, in this case, his own constituents. Now, I heard about the situation, and I thought to myself, this is not going to be happening. We have to challenge this every step of the way. So I went to the county, and I made my case.
A federal judge agreed and found that the town violated Barbosa's constitutional rights. Fact is, courts have consistently held that people have the right to criticize government employees, and they have the right to curse while doing so. The police and other government employees should not be surprised that it is illegal to arrest people for swearing at them. The United States Supreme Court has shown concern in cases like Gooding versus Wills in 1972 that such vague local statutes could be abused to intimidate or to suppress political opposition. Now I say that.
And finally, guys, what's happening in Mercedes today, it's not just the problem of Mercedes. It's all of our problem. Because people, local officials inclined towards corruption, are watching what's happening in Mercedes, Texas right now. And they're wondering if they might be able to get away with the same thing. And so I want like I said, I want to commend the people of Mercedes, and I want to encourage everybody in Mercedes, sign the petition. Clean out your house. Clean out the chambers of the city. Replace these local corrupt tyrants. Replace them with good, honest people that have the city's interest at heart. I'm tired of hearing about these local officials that only get into politics, only get into local positions to enrich themselves. That's not what it's supposed to be about. And then they hire their family members, they hire their buddies to loot from the public coffers. Listen, guys, it's imperative, because grains of sand make a heap. A little grain here in Mercedes, a little grain here in Brownsville, a grain here in Cameron County, a grain here in Hidalgo, a lot of grains in Edinburgh, more grains in Far, more grains in San Juan, in La Jolla, Rio Grande City, and pretty soon you have a heap. Pretty soon you have a heap, and by the time you know it, you won't even know. You won't even be able to understand the kind of political oppression that you're living under. And the status quo becomes exactly what we see here. This becomes the Gotham City of Texas. And corruption is the rule of the day. And anybody that speaks out gets trampled. We cannot allow this to happen. That's why it's imperative that we fight, we stick together, and we show these people that they will be challenged. And we show these people that there is enough fight, and that there is enough intelligence on our side, that they're not gonna operate with impunity as they did before. Guys, thanks a lot.
But I would just like to propose a simple question to you. Who is more the threat here? A desperate, houseless citizen who, after receiving no answers from his local officials, emails a local politician telling him to burn in hell? Or the politician who uses a vague harassment statute in the Texas Penal Code to arrest said citizen? And what about the chilling effect on free speech this will have? You are setting a future precedent of intimidation to anyone else who would otherwise want to speak out. Shame on you for violating your most basic obligation. And shame on the judge who signed this warrant knowing the precedent it would set for future political discourse in South Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Castillo.
I promise you this will not stand. We will not be intimidated. We will challenge you every step of the way.
Thank you.
Hey guys, if you like what you just saw, please like our Hell's Tavern Facebook page and subscribe to our Hell's Tavern YouTube page. There's a lot more fresher, newer content on its way out, and the easiest way for you to help us out is just by sharing our content, guys. So, thanks for watching.